Hello everyone. Welcome back to our channel, Canada Immigration. We hope you're doing great. In this video, we're going to talk about 3 new Ontario OINP draws sent 2,639 PR invitations, latest BCPNP draw 2024 British Columbia PNP draws. First Transport Targeted Express Entry draw of 2024 sent 975 PR invitations. Check out IRCC service standards for processing various applications. Living wage rates in Canada and top 50 Canadian cities. In the ever-changing landscape of Canadian immigration, recent developments have brought about significant shifts in Ontario and British Columbia's Provincial Nominee Program, PNP, draws, as well as the Transport Targeted Express Entry draw. With a focus on facilitating permanent residency, these draws have captured the attention of prospective immigrants and stakeholders alike. Additionally, the latest updates on processing standards by the Immigration, Refugees, and Citizenship Canada, IRCC, along with insights into living wage rates across Canada, provide valuable information for those navigating the immigration journey. Let's delve into these updates to gain a comprehensive understanding of the current state of immigration affairs in Canada. If you are interested in this topic, to get all the information, pay attention and watch the video through to the end. Please hit like and subscribe, and don't forget to push the notification bell for an upcoming video. So, without any further delay, let's jump into the video. 3 new Ontario Immigrant Nominee Program, OINP, draws under the International Student Stream were held on March 12, sending out a total of 2,639 permanent residency invitations. 1,306 invitations to apply for permanent residency, PR, are being sent out to the eligible profiles under the General Draw for International Students, OINP Expression of Interest, EOI, profiles that satisfy the requirements for the International Student Stream and scored 72 or higher are being invited. A targeted OINP draw for 63 skilled trade occupations under the International Student Stream sent out 649 invitations to apply for PR to profiles scoring 66 and higher. Another targeted OINP draw for 41 healthcare and 15 tech occupations under the International Student Stream also sent out 684 invitations to apply for PR to profiles scoring 72 and higher. Before this, 2,434 invites were given out on February 8 under the OINP International Student Stream under similar general as well as targeted rounds of invitations for healthcare and tech occupations. Skilled trades occupations targeted in Ontario PNP draw today. NOC 22,212, Drafting Technologists and Technicians. NOC 22,301, Mechanical Engineering Technologists and Technicians. NOC 22,302, Industrial Engineering and Manufacturing Technologists and Technicians. NOC 22,311, Electronic Service Technicians, Household and Business Equipment. NOC 22,312, Industrial Instrument Technicians and Mechanics. NOC 70,010, Construction Managers. NOC 70,011, Home Building and Renovation Managers. NOC 70,012, Facility Operation and Maintenance Managers. NOC 72,010, Contractors and Supervisors, Machining, Metal Forming, Shaping and Erecting Trades and Related Occupations. NOC 72,011, Contractors and Supervisors, Electrical Trades, and Telecommunications Occupations. NOC 72,012, Contractors and Supervisors, Pipe Fitting Trades. NOC 72,013, Contractors and Supervisors, Carpentry Trades. NOC 72,014, Contractors and Supervisors, Other Construction Trades, Installers, Repairers, and Services. NOC 72,020, Contractors and Supervisors, Mechanic Trades. NOC 72,021, Contractors and Supervisors, Heavy Equipment Operator Crews. NOC 72,022, Supervisors, Printing, and Related Occupations. NOC 72,024, Supervisors, Motor Transport, and Other Ground Transit Operators. NOC 72,100, Machinists and Machining and Tooling Inspectors. NOC 72,101, Tool and Die Makers. NOC 72,102, Sheet Metal Workers. NOC 72,103, Boiler Makers. NOC 72,104, Structural Metal and Plate Work Fabricators and Fitters. NOC 72,105, Iron Workers. NOC 72,106, Welders and Related Machine Operators. NOC 72,200, Electricians, except Industrial and Power System. NOC 72,201, Industrial Electricians. NOC 72,203, Electrical Power Line and Cable Workers. NOC 72204, Telecommunications Line and Cable Installers and Repairers. NOC 72205, Telecommunications Equipment Installation and Cable Television Service Technicians. NOC 72300, Plumbers. NOC 72301, Steam Fitters, Pipe Fitters, and Sprinkler System Installers. NOC 72302, Gas Fitters. NOC 72310, Carpenters. NOC 72311, Cabinet Makers. NOC 72320, Bricklayers. NOC 72321, Insulators. NOC 72400, Construction Millwrights and Industrial Mechanics. NOC 72401, Heavy Duty Equipment Mechanics. NOC 72402, Heating, Refrigeration, and Air Conditioning Mechanics. NOC 72403, Railway Carmen/Women. NOC 72404, Aircraft Mechanics and Aircraft Inspectors. NOC 72406, Elevator Constructors and Mechanics. NOC 72410, Automotive Service Technicians, Truck and Bus Mechanics, and Mechanical Repairers. NOC 72422, Electrical Mechanics. NOC 72423, Motorcycle, All-Terrain Vehicle, and other related mechanics. NOC 72500, Crane Operators. NOC 73100, Concrete Finishers. NOC 73101, Tile Setters. NOC 73102, Plasterers, Drywall Installers, Finishers, and Lathers. NOC 73110, Roofers and Shinglers. NOC 73111, Glaziers. NOC 73112, Painters and Decorators, except Interior Decorators. NOC 73113, Floor Covering Installers. NOC 73200, Residential and Commercial Installers and Servicers. NOC 73201, General Building Maintenance Workers and Building Superintendents. NOC 73202, Pest Controllers and Fumigators. NOC 73209, Other Repairers and Servicers. NOC 73300, Transport Truck Drivers. NOC 73301, Bus Drivers, Subway Operators, and Other Transit Operators. NOC 73400, Heavy Equipment Operators. NOC 73402, Drillers and Blasters, Surface Mining, Quarrying and Construction. NOC 82031, Contractors and Supervisors, Landscaping, Grounds Maintenance, and Horticulture Services. NOC 92100, Power Engineers and Power Systems Operators. Healthcare Occupations Targeted in OINP Draw. NOC 30010, Managers in Healthcare. NOC 31100, Specialists in Clinical and Laboratory Medicine. NOC 31103, Veterinarians. NOC 31110, Dentists. NOC 31111, Optometrists. NOC 31112, Audiologists and Speech-Language Pathologists. NOC 31120, Pharmacists. NOC 31121, Dietitians and Nutritionists. NOC 31200, Psychologists. NOC 31201, Chiropractors. NOC 31202, Physiotherapists. NOC 31203, Occupational Therapists. NOC 31204, Kinesiologists and Other Professional Occupations in Therapy and Assessment. NOC 31209, Other Professional Occupations in Health Diagnosing and Treating. NOC 31300, Nursing Coordinators and Supervisors. NOC 31301, Registered Nurses and Registered Psychiatric Nurses. NOC 31302, Nurse Practitioners. NOC 31303, Physician Assistants, Midwives, and Allied Health Professionals. NOC 32100, Opticians. NOC 32101, Licensed Practical Nurses. NOC 32102, Paramedical Occupations. NOC 32103, Respiratory Therapists, Clinical Perfusionists, and Cardiopulmonary Technologists. NOC 32104, Animal Health Technologists and Veterinary Technicians. NOC 32109, Other Technical Occupations in Therapy and Assessment. NOC 32110, Denturists. NOC 32111, Dental Hygienists and Dental Therapists. NOC 32112, Dental Technologists and Technicians. NOC 32120, Medical Laboratory Technologists. NOC 32,121. Medical Radiation Technologists. NOC 32,122. Medical Sonographers. NOC 32,123. Cardiology Technologists and Electrophysiological Diagnostic Technologists. NOC 32,124. Pharmacy Technicians. NOC 32,129. Other Medical Technologists and Technicians. NOC 32,200. Traditional Chinese Medicine Practitioners and Acupuncturists. NOC 32,201. Massage Therapists. NOC 32,209. Other Practitioners of Natural Healing. NOC 33,100. Dental Assistants and Dental Laboratory Assistants. NOC 33,101. Medical Laboratory Assistants and Related Technical Occupations. NOC 33,102. Nurse Aides, Orderlies, and Patient Service Associates. NOC 33,103. Pharmacy Technical Assistants and Pharmacy Assistants. NOC 33,109. Other Assisting Occupations in Support of Health Services. Tech Occupations targeted in today's OINP draw. NOC 20,012. Computer and Information Systems Managers. NOC 21,211. Data Scientists. NOC 21,220. Cybersecurity Specialists. NOC 21,221. Business Systems Specialists. NOC 21,222. Information Systems Specialists. NOC 21,223. Database Analysts and Data Administrators. NOC 21,230. Computer Systems Developers and Programmers. NOC 21,231. Software Engineers and Designers. NOC 21,232. Software Developers and Programmers. NOC 21,233. Web Designers. NOC 21,234. Web Developers and Programmers. NOC 21,311. Computer Engineers, except Software Engineers and Designers. NOC 22,220. Computer Network Technicians. NOC 22,221. User Support Technicians. NOC 22,222. Information Systems Testing Technicians. As Ontario continues to prioritize skilled immigration through its provincial nominee program, these recent draws mark a substantial step in welcoming talented individuals to contribute to the province's economy and society. Stay tuned for more updates on immigration pathways and opportunities in Ontario. Latest British Columbia PNP Draw 2024, British Columbia PNP Draws. The latest BCPNP draw on March 12 sent out more than 187 invitations to apply, ETAs, for permanent residency, PR, in targeted rounds of invitations. In a targeted BCPNP draw for 35 tech occupations, 65 invites have been sent out under both the Express Entry and BCPNP Skills immigration streams. The cutoff score increases by 5 points as compared to the previous tech draw on February 27 among all the streams. Furthermore, 54 invites have been sent to profiles that have experience as early childhood educators, assistants or instructors, NOC 42,202. Moreover, only 30 applicants with experience in 25 construction-related occupations were invited for British Columbia's new category-based draw, introduced in late 2023. Additionally, 38 profiles created with experience in 39 healthcare-related occupations received invitations to apply for permanent residency. Latest BCPNP draw, March 19. Latest British Columbia PNP draw, March 12. British Columbia PNP draw, March 5. BCPNP draw, February 27. British Columbia PNP draw, February 21. British Columbia PNP draw, February 13. British Columbia PNP draw, February 6. British Columbia PNP draw, January 30. January 23 British Columbia draw. January 16 British Columbia draw. British Columbia PNP draw, January 10th. Processing time for BCPNP. Processing timeframes are based on 80% of cases and begin when the BCPNP receives your complete application after being drawn. British Columbia PNP fees 2023. When was the last British Columbia PNP draw in 2024? On March 12, 2024, the latest BCPNP draw sent more than 187 invitations to apply, ETAs, for permanent residency, PR, in targeted rounds of invitations for 35 tech occupations, early childhood educators, 25 construction occupations, and 39 healthcare occupations. When is the next British Columbia PNP draw in 2024? The next British Columbia PNP draw for 2024 is expected to be announced on March 19th to 20th and is anticipated to be general and targeted rounds of invitations for early childhood educators, 35 tech occupations, 25 construction occupations, and 39 healthcare occupations. First Transport targeted express entry draw of 2024 sent 975 PR invitations. The Comprehensive Ranking System, CRS, score cutoff was previously, on March 12. IRCC sent out 2,850 invitations to apply, ETAs, for permanent residency in a general round of invitations. The CRS score cutoff was 525, meaning all the profiles in the pool with a score above this are getting a Canadian permanent residency invitation. Below is the full summary of the express entry draw for March 2024. Latest CRS score distribution in the express entry draw pool. All the express entry draws in the last 6 months. What is the express entry system? The automated express entry system is used to process applications from skilled professionals seeking permanent residency in Canada. Express entry oversees 3 programs: the Federal Program for Skilled Workers, FSWP, the Federal Skilled Trades Program, FSTP, and the Canadian Experience Class, CEC. The federal government assesses a candidate's eligibility for an express entry program once the individual provides an online profile. Candidates who meet the requirements are admitted into the express entry pool and given a ranking based on the Comprehensive Ranking System, CRS. The government ranks candidates in the express entry pool using a points-based system called the CRS. The age, level of education, professional background, linguistic skills, and other factors all play a role in determining a candidate's CRS score. The Canadian government then selects the highest scoring applicants from the express entry pool and issues an invitation to apply, ITA, for permanent residency. Furthermore, Canada offers particular categories under which individuals may be chosen based on their qualifications and awarded ETAs. Check out IRCC service standards for processing various applications. Immigration, refugees, and citizenship. Canada still has a backlog, although it has overall improved year-on-year since the pandemic. In 2023, IRCC started releasing monthly data on both applications in the backlog and those that fall under service standards. As per the latest official update by the Canadian Immigration Department, there were 930,000 applications in backlog, while 1,258,400 files were processed within service standards. Although everyone is aware of what a backlog is, it's crucial to know the IRCC service standard for each type of citizenship, immigration, and visa application. The standards used by Canada Immigration to handle applications vary depending on the category. This is comparable to the service standards of any organization. For instance, a pizza restaurant has a policy requiring delivery of pizza within 30 minutes of an order being placed. It is their service standard that they aim to meet for the majority of clients, even though they might not be able to do so for all of them. In a similar vein, the IRCC processes various application types using distinct service standards. An application is referred to as entering a backlog if it does not meet that service standard. Since all applications are processed by the service standard, those that remain within it are not categorized as backlogs. IRCC aims to process 80% of applications within service standards when it comes to application processing. The IRCC, however, was unable to accomplish this due to the pandemic in 2020. Thus, the number of backlogs increased dramatically. The IRCC service requirements for the main application categories and IRCC performance in 2022 to 2023 are listed below. Category-wise IRCC service standards. The below tables list IRCC service standards and departmental performance for the fiscal year 2022 to 2023. Applications for citizenship, family sponsorship, and PR cards. Economic immigration. Temporary residence applications. IRCC Client Support Center. What is the most recent Canadian Immigration Backlog update? As per the most recent official Canadian Immigration Backlog update, there were 930,000 citizenship, immigration, and temporary visa applications being processed outside the service standards. A total of 2.3 million applications were under processing. Living wage rates in Canada and the top 50 Canadian cities. A living wage is the hourly income that a worker requires to fulfill their basic expenses and contribute to their community. The provincial government sets the legal minimum wage that all employers must pay, which is not the same as a living wage. The idea of a living wage in Canada is an illuminating symbol of equity and hope as we negotiate the complexities of contemporary economies in pursuit of social justice. There are more than 1,000 employers across Canada that voluntarily pay the living wage, which is much higher than the government-set minimum wage. The need to ensure that individuals earn enough to meet their fundamental requirements and live good lives is emphasized in Canada's ongoing discussions regarding salaries, affordability, and economic stability. The official minimum wage in Canada and various provinces is usually revised on an annual basis, except for Alberta, but still, it is far less than the actual living wage required to meet the ends. This in-depth article will take readers on a journey to discover the living wage rates in Canada and compare them across 50 major cities, coast to coast. We will look at what's driving these rates, what they mean for people and communities, and how to make society more equal and welcoming. Understanding the living wage concept. Before we go into particular rates, let's define the wage needed to make ends meet. In contrast to the minimum wage, which is the legal wage floor, a living wage is intended to provide workers with enough income to meet the basic costs of living in a certain geographic location. This includes expenses for housing, food, transportation, healthcare, childcare, and other necessities. A livable wage is intended to ensure that people and families can afford a fair quality of life without experiencing financial hardship or relying on government assistance programs. Factors defining living wage rates. Several factors influence living wage rates in various areas and communities in Canada. These factors interact in intricate ways to affect the cost of living and, as a result, the amount of money required to meet basic needs. Here are some major elements that influence living rates. The cost of housing. Housing expenses vary greatly across Canada, with major cities seeing higher real estate prices and rental rates. Cities with expensive housing markets frequently have higher living wage rates to compensate for these expenses. Cost of living indices. Expenses like groceries, utilities, transportation, healthcare, and education all contribute to the total cost of living. These prices vary by region, which influences living wage calculations. Costs for childcare and education. For families with children, daycare and schooling costs are important components of the living wage calculation. Cities that provide accessible and cheap daycare may have lower family living wage rates. Transportation expenses. The availability of public transportation, fuel prices, and commuting distances all influence transportation costs, which are considered in living wage rates. Healthcare expenses. Access to inexpensive healthcare services and insurance premiums influences living wage calculations, particularly in areas with higher healthcare expenses. Taxes and government benefits. Taxation laws, tax credits, and the availability of government benefits such as housing subsidies and social assistance programs all have an impact on net income levels and, by extension, living wage rates. Methods for calculating living wage rates. Various organizations, research institutes, and advocacy groups utilize different methods to compute living wage rates. Here are some common approaches. The market basket approach. This method evaluates the cost of a specified basket of goods and services required for a standard of living and accounts for regional price fluctuations. Budget standard approach. It creates a budget based on a predefined standard of living, including savings and discretionary spending, and then calculates the income needed to satisfy that budget. Cost of living indices. To establish living wage rates, use regional cost of living indices adjusted for unique expenses in different cities. Living wage rates in Canada for 2024. Now, let's look at the overall living wage rates in Canada, as well as rates for 50 key Canadian cities in 2024. These rates are estimated using research data, cost of living calculations, and methodologies developed by various organizations and institutions. The wage rates quoted are for a single adult living alone and do not include any additional expenses for families or dependents. Living wage rates in Canada and 55 major Canadian cities. Canada, national average, $22.35 per hour. Implications and policy considerations. Understanding living wage rates is critical for governments, employers, workers, and advocacy groups because they have substantial repercussions. Poverty reduction. Adequate wages through living wage laws can help eliminate poverty by ensuring that people and families have enough income to cover their necessities without relying significantly on social welfare programs. Economic stability. Living wages can help to maintain economic stability by raising consumer spending, lowering employee turnover, and encouraging a healthier workforce, all of which lead to increased productivity. Social equity. Living wage policies promote social equity by addressing income disparity and giving fair compensation to all workers, regardless of geography or industry. The cost of doing business. Implementing living wage standards may increase labor expenses in the near term, but it can result in long-term benefits such as higher staff morale, loyalty, and productivity. Policy innovation. To assist in the implementation of living wage legislation without unduly burdening businesses, policymakers might consider innovative alternatives such as tax incentives, small company subsidies, and collaborations with community organizations. What does the living wage mean? The living wage is the minimum income necessary for a worker to meet their basic needs, such as food, housing, and healthcare, without relying on public assistance. What is the difference between the living wage and the minimum wage in Canada? The living wage is the income required for a worker to meet their basic needs, such as food, housing, transportation, and healthcare, while the minimum wage is the legally mandated lowest hourly wage employers must pay their employees. In Canada, the living wage is generally higher than the minimum wage as it aims to provide workers with a more sustainable income to cover their essential expenses. What is the concept of universal basic income in Canada? A universal basic income, UBI, in Canada refers to a government program that provides a periodic payment to all its citizens or residents unconditionally, regardless of their employment status or income level. As Canada continues to refine its immigration policies and procedures, staying informed about the latest draws, processing standards, and economic indicators is crucial for prospective immigrants and stakeholders. The recent Ontario and British Columbia PNP draws, coupled with the Transport Targeted Express Entry draw, underscore the country's commitment to welcoming skilled individuals and meeting labor market demands. Moreover, insights into living wage rates offer valuable perspectives on the economic landscape across Canadian cities. By keeping abreast of these developments, individuals can better navigate the immigration process, while contributing to the vibrant multicultural tapestry of Canada. That is all for today, in this video. What are your thoughts on this? Please let us know in the comments section below. Thanks for watching the entire video. Hopefully, the information is useful to you. See you later, in the next episode.